You want to start?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tristan, aka Sharpseer, and I will be playing Gaz, the elf rogue. He was raised by a human man and wife for the better part of his young life. He's still considered an adolescent by elven standards, since they, according to the book, reach adulthood at 110 years, and he's only 93. He has been helping to support his aging parents by learning the ways of the street and fast talking and cutting purses for a good portion of his life, which is why he is now first level rogue. He travels the world, drifting as best he can to keep ahead of anybody who might be after him, and drops back home every now and again to donate to his parents.
All right. And then with me, I am Derek. I'll be playing Rook, the human paladin of Cord. Rook made his way up through the fighting pits in Oasis, eventually making his way out to do his best to expand the glory of Cord. Eventually, running into Gaz and kind of taking him under his wing as a traveling companion, as to hopefully turn him from his thieving ways, but we shall see.
Good luck. So, I was surprised. I was used to elves in later editions being, tall and willowy things. So I had written Gaz as 6 feet, but according to 3/5 elves, they're generally shorter than humans, topping out at like 5.5 feet tall. So I guess I'll be doing that. But Gaz is a male. He has pale skin. Is 5.5 feet tall. Weighing in at about 100 pounds. His eyes are blue. His hair is brown.
Rook is a bit older, around the age of 40. Is about 6'2", weighs 200 pounds, has black hair and gray eyes.
Oh, and Gaz wears his hair short and well coiffed, so he looks debonair.
But yes, we've got these two unlikely characters being paired together.
I don't know what you mean by unlikely. I'm a perfectly likable guy.
I didn't say you weren't likable. I'm just saying that it is not a pairing one would come to expect, a paladin and a rogue. Up till now, we've had a few incidents that occurred. We had the two characters met obviously before this campaign, and they have decided they will travel together for reasons that are to be revealed. And then there was the solemn oath which Rook swore towards his patron deity. Did we talk about that yet?
I had not.
You're a paladin, so this is D&D 3.5. That means you must be following Palor, right?
Nope.
Wait.
I did say I was following Cord.
You did say you were following Cord. Okay. So we just before this session, in your backstory, you have begun to follow Cord. Would you like to give us a little bit, just like a taste of the basis of your oath?
My oath is to fight for the honor and glory of Cord and the defense of the weak and helpless.
That's short and sweet. I like it.
Well, you asked for the short version, so that's the short version.
Right?
If you want the long version, I can quote it.
So are we starting off today at a point in time that is after we have had our initial introduction to one another, or something else?
We are going to start pretty much the day after Rook has sworn his oath. We've only been traveling for a few days at this point. So where we are right now is on the screen. We're in Badlands. This is an area of scrub, brush, rocky terrain that is north. Oh, the chat's working now. That is north of Oasis. So Oasis is where Rook has come from, and is a desert town surrounded by several days worth of desert on all ends. This desert in the Badlands, that harsh terrain is the result of a mountain range that is to the west a few days travel. We are now in the Badlands, which means that there are actual plants and animals, and it is frequented by trappers, traders passing through, that sort of life that you will come across. So real quick,
there's traders, there's bandits.
Yes, there could be bandits. Bandits are known to be pretty much everywhere. They're most commonly on roads, but I'm sure there's plenty of places where you might come across a bandit here. So it is now morning. You have ended your camp. Pulling something up real quick. So I want to know exactly what is the routine that you have come up with for these past few days of mornings, breaking up the camp, having breakfast, and then continuing with your day.
I imagine I take care of most of the breaking down of camp, being the stronger of the two, and leave the cooking to Gaz.
I'm a good cook.
I mean, Gaz is also not an adult yet, so he's still learning.
Well, he's not an adult by or by elven standards, but by human standards, he is a very old person.
I'm only 93. I'm still a kid. Don't put that on me.
He's just a kid and his life's going nowhere.
It's definitely going somewhere. I just don't know where. Wherever my feet take me.
Anywhere the wind blows, perhaps?
Nothing really matters.
I will say a few things that I'm not going to have time in today's session to put up like what day it is or anything like that, but there is a calendar. So a little bit about the lore of the world, just real quick. You use the Anerian calendar, and you don't know much about why it's called that. You just know that it's called the Anerian calendar, and sometimes you hear common referred to as Old Anerian, or just Anerian. Okay. It is not a location you've ever been to, though.
But we all speak Anerian.
Yes. You haven't. You usually hear older people refer to it as Anerian. Most people just call it common.
Okay. Okay, so not everybody calls it that.
Not everybody. The younger folks just call it common.
A lot of English speakers get confused if you tell them they're using Phoenician letters.
Right. Or no one really refers to the calendar as the Roman calendar, but if you talk to an expert, they'll tell you that you use the Anerian calendar.
Okay.
And you are aware that sometimes you'll hear what day it is, and the months tend to be based off of deities. The days of the week tend to be based off of a different pantheon of deities. Not necessarily relevant to the adventure, but it will become relevant later. So I'm bringing it up now because in future streams I will have the date up on there like Skyrim style. So it's morning, and the paladin has probably said his morning chord prayers. Assuming that.
Yes.
Then shortly we are underway on the beaten path, as it were. There are many beaten paths along the Badlands. The elf of the group, who hails from a different area entirely, has frequented almost everywhere you can think of in his travels, at least in this region. So he pretty much knows his way around where we are right now. As I understand it, the intent of this journey is twofold, which is to have the paladin try to be a good influence on the rogue, and also to pulling up. Okay, I found it. Awesome. And also for the rogue to eventually meet up with his adopted parents. Is that true?
Yeah, drop home and drop off, some wealth for them to live off of. But I need to collect that first. So, that's the interim step.
Right.
gather
So gotta
wealth.
get the wealth first.
And I can also imagine that if your parents, adopted parents, are human, that they've probably spent the better part of their life trying to raise you to adulthood.
Yeah, they're not young at this point.
So let's. They're somewhere in the older age at this point. You are from a modest-sized town. It's not small. It's not huge. Called Gamut.
Gamut.
It is in a different region that is adjacent to the Badlands.
Okay.
So the
Are
goal
we headed
here,
in that direction?
yes, the goal here is to travel north through the Badlands for a few days until you arrive at Trapper's Camp. From Trapper's Camp, you're going to head east to a river, and you know that from there you can follow a very well-maintained and well-worn road until you arrive at Gamut.
All right. If you're able to, now would be an appropriate time to put that map on the screen so that everyone can see what you're talking about.
Okay, yes, I will do that.
If you're not able to, then don't.
It's not entirely ready for the adventure. It's more of a zoomed out version, but I will pull it up without any special markings on it. How's that work?
Okay.
Good enough.
You can just use the mouse to point out things that are going on it, then we will know what you're talking about. Because I'm like, all right, north to Trapper's Run, east, something else.
Right. Another
Find a
thing
road.
about the culture is, oh come on, that there is a uniting language across most of Valenaria, but you seem to have an understanding based off of your education that this Aneria that you keep hearing about was not so long ago that it was around, whatever it was. So that is relevant to understanding a bit of the background. Now here we go. Here is a map of what's going on here. Right here, that is Oasis.
All right.
And then we've traveled north, and we're currently in the Badlands. Trapper's Camp is roughly around here. And then we're going to head straight east, cross the river, and then get onto the actual road until we arrive at Gamut heading east.
Which is Gambit currently marked on the map?
No, Gamut is roughly here on the map where the mouse is.
Okay. So yeah,
Okay, there it goes.
We're really, really
That
far
looks
zoomed in on a world map, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that looks like it could easily be a week of travel, if not more.
Oh yeah. The distance from Oasis to this gorge here is roughly 2 to 3 days. So it's a fair amount of distance. As an example, Gaz can tell you that even once you get onto the beaten road, it's usually 2 to 3 days travel between each town. So we're walking along. We're in the Badlands. And shortly, I need a listen check.
Right, well, before that, I'm just going to lean over to Brooke and be like, remember, today, my handle is Vambrace. That's what you call me. That's my code name.
What is it with you and these bloody code names?
Well, you get one.
Brooke's
So I
my
get one too.
name. My mother gave it to me.
Right. He winks at you and points. Mine too. Vambrace, remember.
What number code name is this anyways? 8? Oh, you lost track.
With you? I thought this was only number 7.
I just want to interject for a second that it's only been, 3 or 4 days, and he's already gone through about 2 code names a day?
Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
Okay, make that listen check for me real quick. Well, we've got a good enough roll now for Rook to indicate that he has heard howling in the distance.
If there's howling in the distance, then there's food.
Indeed. Either them or whatever it is they're hunting down.
Oh. What you want to base us?
Could be.
I got Nothing, actually. You have to bet. So when I win, I actually have money to bet next time.
1 second while I check my sheet. Fine. I'll bet you 2 gold on it.
2 gold. Done. They're hunting us. You say they're hunting something else. You have to, because I already bet on us. And I need the money.
Alright. That's fine. They're hunting something else. Don't know what else, but something else.
Excellent.
Yeah, the howling's getting louder now.
Those 2 gold are smelling real sweet. You wouldn't happen to have any arrows, would you?
I might, because I have a short bow on my sheet.
I have a short bow, but no arrows.
I have 20 arrows.
Excellent. I need them.
I'll basically just toss you my quiver.
I fisticuffed the last rabbit we had to eat, and let me tell you, he was a beast.
I'm trying not to go through these so quickly this time.
I use them as I need them.
Okay, up the beaten path. If the picture that I've got up on the stream is the beaten path you're on, it's somewhere up ahead of that last group of trees. You see a little lupine face. Wolf peers its head around the tree, and then backs back up around the tree.
Oh, he's scared. We got any food to offer it?
I have like 1 travel ration left, not much.
Is there any, like, you still got the cured meat in there?
I mean, I guess.
You can keep the hardtack. I want the cured meat, thank you. Just gonna reach over and take it out of the ration as he holds it up.
The wolf reappears. It is dragging its
come on.
it's dragging one of its hind legs and sort of whines and makes eye contact and sees that you have food. Very slowly is making progress down the path.
Oh, he's hurt, little guy. I'm gonna just like get low and sort of like crouch walk my way toward him with the food out in front of me. Come on then. It's alright. You're safe with us. Rook's not so bad when you get to know him, and you certainly get used to the smell after a while.
Hey! Does the wolf seem kind of older or younger?
Make a check for that.
So, 14.
Okay. It was so you did wisdom, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. It seems to be it's been an adult for maybe half a year or so.
Okay, so still fairly young, but not super young.
Yeah, it's a young adult. It is slowly dragging itself down the road. It goes another 5, maybe 10 feet from you, from where it was, towards you, and then sort of stops, really favoring that back hind leg.
Oh, 6 months, still a puppy.
It kind of whines at you.
They're not an adult for a whole year. Come here, come on then. I'm gonna get as close as I can with the meat out in front of me. It's just like cured jerky.
Careful it doesn't snap at you.
Oh, it's fine, don't you worry.
How close do you want to get?
I'm gonna get close enough to offer the meat to it.
Okay, roll initiative.
Yay! Rook's probably like 10 or 15 feet behind me, like, be careful.
Okay, there's our initiative.
That's a lot of wolves.
Put it right there, and I'll lower the size. It is a lot of wolves. There we go, that works. Okay, so now I'm going to roll real quick for the 5 wolves, as odd as that might sound. But yes, what happens is as you approach the little wolfie, suddenly you hear the sounds that there's more than one wolfie.
There's more of them!
And it's not in a good way.
Is it very obvious that it's not in a good way?
I mean, they're making sounds like they want to bite you.
Oh, do I see any of them?
You're about to.
Okay.
Let's see, here we go.
Like, start to back and be like, rookie, I got a bad feeling about this.
Gaz, grab your bow.
Yeah, all the wolves are going after you, so I'm not going to Yeah, I'll order them based off their first initiative. Okay. 12, 10, 8, and whopping 3. Done.
Impressive.
Yeah, I thought so. All right. On your initiative there, Gaz, let me know what you are doing. You do not see any wolves except for the one in front of you who is suddenly snarling.
Well, that's the one that I'm, like, slowly backing away from now. So I'm, like, stood up, and I'm just backing up toward Rook.
Okay.
If I haven't seen any other wolves, I'm not going to attack yet. Is drawing a weapon part of your move action in this edition, or is it part of an attack?
I think it's a move action itself.
Yes, it's a move action
might
unless
be
you
the
have quick
case.
draw, and then it's a free action.
Gotcha, which I don't have quick draw. Because you can't take quick draw unless you have a base attack bonus.
But you can exchange greater action for a lesser, so attack can become move.
Alright, then, yeah. Given the recommendation from Rook, I would exchange my action to draw instead. So I will move and draw.
Perfect, okay. Full movement backwards then?
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay, and how close to the wolf were you?
I was 5 feet away. I was adjacent.
Okay, that's fine then. The wolf then is going to attack you with an attack of opportunity. Okay. Got it. Yeah, that was a bad attack. Okay, moving on. Now we've got Rook.
All right. I'll move up in front of Gaz to trying to find him if any wolves come at us, so I can hopefully attack of opportunity them.
It wasn't super necessary right now, but I want to make sure that I've mentioned it for later, that I am trained in tumble and that I can use that during my move actions to prevent attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
And so I will make that check going forward. DC 15.
Okay, these little bears are going to be wolves. And then you went back 30 feet. And then the paladin wanted to be what? Behind or next to?
I wanted to be in front of after my move action.
Okay. And then here's the rope. Does that work?
It's good enough for now.
All right.
And I'd like to... I'm not sure quite how it works in 3.5, but I'd like to do something along the lines of preparing my action to, attack a wolf if it gets within range. I would like to be one space to the northwest, and then I'd like to ready an action to attack the wolf if it comes within range. To attack any wolf that comes within range.
Now we're on the wolves initiative, which, if I remember correctly, Wolf 1 goes first. So this little wolf right here is not the first to go. Instead, we're going to get this wolf coming around the corner. Oh, or 3 of them, apparently. Not a fan of what that just did. Yeah, that wolf is going to come around the corner and do its full move action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that works. It is now right in front of you.
Alright, then I'll take a swing at it.
Okay.
And most likely miss. I got a 7.
Yeah, that
I have a +5 to hit, and I got a 2 on die.
Okay, next, that wolf will take a snap at you. That is not going to hit. Okay, next we get another wolf. Guess what?
Are you sure my AC is fairly low?
Unless it's 8.
Nope. It's 14.
A wolf comes through the brush right about here. And then it comes, let's see, yeah, it's got enough movement to get right here. And then it makes a bite attack. Whoa, no, not a crit, okay. So damage. First point of damage of the entire campaign is 6 damage from the bite.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, we are.
Then we see 2
that's
more wolves pop their heads out, ready to fight. But it took their movement speed to get where they are.
Gaz is going to knock an arrow that he got from Rook and fire into the eastern wolf adjacent to his friend.
Okay, wolf 2. No, wolf 3.
Okay, that is a 17 on the die. With this bow, plus 4 is 21. So
That sounds good to me.
Okay, so that's going to deal a d6 of damage. This bow only crits on a 20. So, d6. Cool, maximize 6 points of piercing damage. Non-magical.
Okay. I will be keeping track of this not in a way that tells you what they have, but rather what they've been dealt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't there some way to take like a full round action to fight defensively or something?
You just say that you are, and then you take a penalty on your attack.
You can choose to fight defensively when taking a full round action. If you do so, take a -4 penalty on all attacks in a round and gain a +2 dodge bonus to AC for the same round.
Okay. In the effort of wanting to live, I think I'll do that. I'll take a swing at the hurt one while fighting defensively.
All right.
Okay, I got 20.
Sounds
I can
good to
crit
me.
on a 19, so I need to actually see if I crit.
Oh boy.
That would be a no. I got a 3.
Hold on, let me
Well,
look.
So-
what's the 3 plus your bonus?
Well, it's 2 plus 1. That's my bonus with fighting defensively.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, and what's our damage?
Let's see. 7 damage.
You want me to pull in some...
Oh my goodness, that's exact C's.
I'm gonna pull in some that.
It has more health than I do. Oh joy!
All right, Wolf 1 is dead. I will remove it from the grid simply... No, I'm going to leave it there. How do I indicate it's dead, though? I'll put a heart. Yay! Because it's a good thing that it died. Okay, now I'm going to do my attacks. Wolf 1 is still watching the battle. Wolf 2 is going to try to take a chunk out of you. Wolf 2 takes a chunk out of you.
What did it get out of curiosity?
16.
Dang it, it just met my AC.
That is 5 damage.
Alright. I'm down. Good luck, guys.
This wolf right here, which is Wolf 5, is going to approach, but not past the dead wolf just yet. And then this wolf over here, way off to the left here, wolf number 4, is going to circle around and see if it can get a good bite at the rogue. So that is it for the wolves. We are back at Gaz.
Does any of these look like the leader at all? Like, bigger than the others, or seem to be specifically hanging back, like that one all the way to the north?
That one seems to be more like the youngest one of the pack. The leader who was hanging back is the one who is currently approaching you.
The one to my left.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I am going to... I almost went to go click on the grid. I'm going to use my movement speed, whatever 30 feet southwest is.
Each hex is going to be 5 feet.
Right, but I mean, I don't know how to go the direction I want to go.
So you want to go where again? Southeast?
I want to go southwest.
Southwest.
So that I stay close-ish to this wolf, but put it between me and the other wolves.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this work?
I have to wait for it to update. Yeah, that looks fine.
Okay.
And I'm going to knock another arrow and fire.
Okay.
Alright, that's a 16 on die. My d20 has been very friendly to me tonight. So that's going to be a total 20 to hit.
Nice.
My damage is only 1 point, though.
1 point, but it hurt. That matters, right?
Not really, no. I think I might be stable because I dropped exactly to 0.
Oh, okay, yes. I think if you're 0, you can actually take, like, really basic actions.
Effects of hit point damage, massive damage, disabled. When your current hit points drop to exactly 0, you are disabled. You're not unconscious, but you're close to it. You can only take a single move or standard action each turn, but not both. So, he can actually attack or move.
Well, moving equals death, so I'm going to swing for the fences.
Well, because you can do things like 5-foot step, you can move without dying.
It's true.
Okay, so I could move 5 feet and then get chomped to death.
Possibly. So, you can take either a standard action or a move action each turn, but not both, and you cannot take full round actions. You can take move actions without further injuring yourself, but if you perform any standard actions, or any other action the DM deems as strenuous, including some free actions such as casting a quicken spell, you take a point of damage after completing the act. Unless your activity increased your hit points, you are now at -1 hit points and you're dying. Healing that raises your hit points above 0 makes you fully functional again, just as if you'd been reduced to 0 or fewer hit points. A spellcaster retains the spellcasting capability she had before dropping to 0 hit points. You can also become disabled when recovering from dying. In this case, it's a step toward recovery, and you can have fewer than 0 hit points. So, if they go below 0, between -1 and -9, you are dying. A dying character immediately falls unconscious and can take no actions. A dying character loses 1 hit point every round. This continues until the character dies or becomes stable.
So I can move 5 feet, or I'm going to get chased down and killed. I could try and play dead, where they're just going to eat me anyways, because they're wolves.
Yeah.
Or I could attack and hope to actually kill one off so that maybe we have a chance at living. I will swing at the one in front of me.
Okay.
Does a 9 hit?
No.
Didn't think so. This dice needs to go to dice jail.
You are now dying.
Because he took the action?
That it's strenuous enough.
No, if you take an action.
Gotcha. So the leader is coming towards you, Gaz.
Right.
Does not succeed unless a 7 hits.
7 does not hit.
Okay. The leader targeting you has caused this wolf over here, wolf number 4, to break this is wolf number 1, to break away from the paladin, who is also, not important right now. You start coming towards you. He's going to take his full movement. And then this one back here is still watching. That is wolf number... No, that's wolf number 1. Sorry, Hurt Wolf is still watching. And then this wolf right here is going to take a move action to get around the unconscious wolf It's currently sort of sniffing 10 feet away from the paladin to see what's going on with it. I think I'm out of turns, so we are back at Gaz.
I'm 5-foot stepping. Am I able to 5-foot step into the grid tile that is 2 directly south of the wolf that is adjacent to me?
2 directly south, 5-foot step. No.
Okay. See, I would be able to do that on a square grid. This is problematic.
There.
Okay.
If that makes this part of the battle better, we'll switch.
I can't tell where I can move on a hex because the game isn't designed for hexes. Yeah, I wanted to move diagonally southeast 1.
Okay.
That's where I want to be. That will allow me to make an attack without an attack of opportunity being triggered. And I'm going to continue focusing on the thing that appears to be the leader.
Okay.
That is a 10 to hit.
Hold on 1 second. No, does not hit.
Cool.
When this next round starts, I need a listen check from the one who is not gurgling.
Okay. 6.
Okay. The wolves around you perk up their ears, and the leader, in fact, turns around when this round starts. So now we are back at Gaz. Wait, no, that was you. Sorry. Wolf 1 turns around and begins running north without any reason that you can tell. And it gets about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And it is currently running off that direction, and you're uncertain why, until the other wolf that's near you is suddenly struck with an arrow. And it also turns around. The wolf that is currently sniffing the paladin turns and begins to follow the leader tenuously, and the one that was in the clearing is still in the clearing. So when that happens, we are back at Gaz. What has happened is an arrow has come from somewhere off to the northwest and struck the wolf nearest you, and the other 2 that are running off seem to be ready to do battle with something.
Okay, so a threat appeared and they ran toward it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, cool. I'm going to utilize my move action to put myself adjacent to Rook. And I should be able to roll a heal check now that he is negative HP.
Yeah, I found it. It's DC 15 by default, so I'm not sure if you can make it.
I'm gonna try and take out the leader still.
Okay.
Okay, that is an 18 to hit.
Perfect.
That is 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So it is now it has now taken 7 points of damage. Paladin loses a hit point, and then an arrow hurtles into the leader from off to the side, slaying it. Much like how Wolf 3 was killed in 2 arrows. So now the leader is dead. Now Wolf 3, following the leader, is going to break through this underbrush here. That is when I'm going to give a spot check to Gaz.
Okay. 10. Spot. So that is going to be a 5.
It's 5 on spot. Okay. Wolf is fighting something over there. Like behind this underbrush over here, wolf is fighting something.
Okay. Even though their leader was killed.
Yes. However, the wolf that got shot earlier and is right in front of you is turning tail and running.
Okay.
It has run off the grid, but if you want to shoot it, it's still going to be within range when it's your turn.
Do I know where the one that is fighting is, or is it blocked from view by the scrub brush?
It is blocked from view. With a spot check that you had, it's blocked from view. The one that has been watching the battle the entire time to learn from its fellow wolves turns tail and runs north.
Does it run or does it limp? I want to know if it was faking that injury.
It was totally faking.
Okay.
And then we are back on your turn, Gaz. It is clear there is a battle going on, and it does not seem to be going well for whatever the wolf is fighting against.
Okay. Well, being that there is nothing I can do for my friend here, being that I know the limits of my medical abilities, if I move to that corner tile between the two cactus icons, would I then be able to see what's going on beyond the brush?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to move to that southeast corner tile.
So you are here, and
Yeah,
you can now see... Let me see if I can get something cool here. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Not there. We're going to put it there. You see what seems like an elderly human who is doing his best to battle this wolf. He has a mace of some kind. He's whacking at it, and the bow is currently on the ground, as is his quiver.
Okay. If I am able to see everything that's going on, I would like to take another shot, or I would like to take a shot at this wolf.
Okay. You are firing into melee.
Yep. I'm going to call his attention first, which will call the attention of the wolf, I imagine. Because I didn't roll any kind of sneak or anything. Actually, able to roll sneak as part of a move action. I kind of want him to know I'm there, though, before I do it. Was I able to see what's going on at any point prior to this exact square? Like, could I have seen and shot before getting there, or did I have to get exactly there?
Make a spot check.
Okay. That is an 8.
It took exactly the, hold on, math. The 20 feet that you went to see the wolf.
Okay. So I can make a move silently check at a -5 to try and have, combat advantage over this guy to be able to make an unseen attack. Is that correct?
Yes.
I got a 7.
Okay. It worked.
Okay. That should mean that if I hit, I get to add sneak attack dice because I'm within 30 feet.
Nice.
Okay. And that results in a +2 on the to hit, right?
It's plus 1d6
Oh, plus 1d6 on the to hit?
on the damage.
No, that's my sneak attack. I'm asking about to hit. Is to hit affected at all?
Oh, flat-footed,
Right, okay.
which is essentially going to be a +2.
Okay, so that from me is a 13. Does that hit?
Totally.
Okay. Then I get to roll 2d6 for sneak attack. That's 9 points of damage, but I need to double check that shooting in the melee thing.
It's a -2.
Okay. Does an 11 still hit?
We're hitting.
Okay. 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That wolf is hurt enough that when we get around to, well, first we're going to have Rook roll.
Still dying.
Are you rolling D%? It's only sounding like one die.
It's a 10% chance, so I'm just rolling a D10 hoping for a 10. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that works. That damage that you dealt there to the wolf is enough that as the hunter makes his attack, he's able to deal the final little bit of damage that he needs to in order to defeat wolf number 5. So make that a heart. And then he comes over to you and says, "It seems like your friend needs some help."
Yeah, he's dying. Can you do something? I don't have medical training.
Definitely I can do that for you. So he comes over. He makes a roll. Yep. First try, he stabilizes your friend.
Oh, thank goodness.
And he says, "Let's make camp."
I'm sorry, I don't even know who you are.
My name is... hold on. I know what it was going to be. Dunham. No, not Dunham. Barton.
Barton. Nice to meet you, Barton. You can call me Gisarm.
I can call you Gazan.
Mm,
Is that your name?
that is.
All right, Whippersnapper.
How exactly did he go about stabilizing? With a medicine check?
Yes, he's not magical.
Okay. What are you doing out here anyway, Barton?
Well, would you believe me if I said I'm one job away from retirement?
Well, we've not met, so I will have to say yes, I believe you. What job is that?
Well, I am a trapper. As you can see, and he unslings a brace of various dead small animal carcasses that have been thoroughly cleaned and all of that. I am a trapper, and I come to the Badlands looking for things to kill, as you do, and I am about to retire. So this is my last mission. I am not cut for this work. As you saw, I was, my hand's kind of busted up right now from that encounter. And I just can't, it's too rough out here. The people, the land, the animals is too rough, and I've just got to get out of here and find somewhere to settle down.
Will we be safe from the animals if they're so violent if you make camp?
I found that these wolves in this area tend to stay away if we make a camp, and we make plenty of ruckus.
Well, Rook here's good at making ruckus, isn't that right, Rook?
Rook doesn't answer.
He's still unconscious.
By the way, your new friend, let me put his name on here, shall we?
Barton.
Text.
I'm gonna call him Hawkeye.
I'm gonna put Barton in here. Actually, you know what? Cancel that. Just delete that. Yeah, we're gonna put it into the cast box for now. He wants to take care of your friend there. Because he was a witness to what happened, and he found your friend to be quite impressive in battle, considering that you are a much smaller fellow than he, and he took on almost 3 wolves all by himself, until there was time for him to come and help. And he would like to help with setting up camp, and allowing your friend to rest long enough to become conscious again.
I don't see that I have any reason to refuse that.
Okay. So off the road about 50 feet, he recommends an area near some rocks, and then you set up camp. Not so much, to have a good old nap in the middle of the day, but just so the paladin can get a long rest. Rook, you have gotten a long rest now. But first, let's have some interactions here between Barton and Gaz, shall we? Because Barton wants to know about your group and what you've been doing out here.
Quick question. So if he's gotten a long rest, that means it's been 8 hours, right?
Yes.
Then I need to make some checks, because every hour there's a chance I either gain consciousness or lose a hit point. Okay, I'm just gonna keep rolling till I get that % chance and let you know how many rolls it takes.
Okay.
Stop at 8 for now.
Okay, I've stopped then.
Okay.
I've yet to get it.
Now, 8 hours later, -2 hit points, still unconscious. Okay. So you're a trapper, and yours is your last big haul, is what you're trying to do, hey?
He gestures glumly at the big hall.
It's not very big. I don't know what to say. I mean, thank you for helping us. Why did you do it? I mean,
why wouldn't I do it? It's rough enough out here without me allowing someone who is clearly outnumbered to just be eaten by the wolves. I've seen it too many times. But I would like to know more about your group and what you're up to and where you're headed.
Me and Rook?
Rook, okay. And what's your name again? Gazir?
Gizarm.
Gazan. So,
Yeah.
where are you taking? You're headed here from either Oasis or the mountains?
Well, we were going to take a little hike east before getting to Oasis, but ultimately, yeah.
Okay. So the good thing is that Trapper's Camp is not that far north from here, if that's where you're headed.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So the gist of what he's wanting to do while Rook is napping is just have a good conversation, because he hasn't had one in a long while, at least not with someone whose company he enjoys.
Okay.
And he seems to be enjoying your company.
Okay. I'm a young elf. I have a short bow, and I have 17 arrows. Actually, that's a good question. Were any of the arrows recoverable? Actually, 16. I fired 4.
Roll percentile on all 4.
Okay. Alright, so that's a 13. What is the percent? Because I usually roll for under.
Yeah, under's fine.
Okay, so a 13, a 62, so that's not good. A 52. 61.
Dang.
And 6.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Was the 13 good?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 2 arrows back.
We're going for under 50.
Under 50, yeah, so I got 2 arrows back.
Okay. Roll either wisdom or charisma.
That is a 10.
Okay. The conversation is all in all enjoyable. After a few hours of conversation with Rook, and one of the reasons you're at ease, obviously, is your elderly parents at this point. Not Rook, Barton, sorry. He decides he's got to go take care of something. And then he heads north for a little bit and does not return until well after Rook has awoken. So is there anything you're going to do while you wait for Rook to wake up?
I guess I'm going to... I assume we're staying here, so I'm going to make sure that, like, the bedrolls are laid out. I don't own anything, so I'm just going to be, like, sleeping on the sand here. I've got, like, my bow, and I've got Rook's arrows, and my armor, and that's all I own outside of my clothing.
That's all I need.
I mean, for the moment, I should probably scavenge for something to eat. Oh wait, that wolf never took the the food, so I can eat that, but I should find water. Does Rook have a water skin?
I believe I do. Let me check my sheet.
Because I didn't have the money to buy a water skin.
I have a water skin.
Okay, I'm taking Rook's water skin.
You didn't
also
tell me
have
no?
a HUD.
If he's got a backpack, I'm going to take his whole backpack.
Okay, I have a backpack with a water skin, about half a trail ration now because you're eating the other half. A sack, a flint and steel, a hood, lantern, 3 points of oil, and a wooden holy symbol of cord.
I'm going to take the wooden holy symbol of cord out, and I'm going to put it on top of your chest as you lie there. I should probably make sure that he's been removed from whatever armor he's wearing, otherwise he can't gain any rest benefits, so we'll do that. I'll put the armor, like, around him, like, kind of, like leaned up against him, like, so he's not wearing it, but it's still, make over him a little bit to protect him from anything out here, flying rocks or whatever. And then I'm going to go look for water.
Okay, it takes you about an hour and a half, and you come across a very small water source.
Okay. If it's enough to fill the water skin.
Barely, but yes.
Should I be adding any more rolls to see if I regain consciousness, or is it just going to happen as a story beat at this point?
I believe you made your 8.
Yes, I made 8. And then you said it was going to be a few hours, and then you said it was an hour and a half for him to go and find water.
Were you awake at that point?
No.
He hasn't woken. He hasn't rolled to wake up yet. This is the thing. Like, he hasn't hit the 10% chance to wake up.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So
after
yes,
8 hours. Just so you know, Joseph, he's at negative 3 HP. So after 8 hours, you said negative 3, right, Derek? I'm not lying. Okay. After 8 hours of being unconscious, he is allowed to gain 1 HP, which puts him at negative 2 and still unconscious. But he can continue rolling to try and regain consciousness, but he hasn't succeeded yet. So I imagine this is all still happening during the 8 hours.
Yeah, and I doubt he's just going to automatically wake up after those 8 hours. So yeah, roll one more time.
On that page you're looking at, if you look 2 sections lower, down under natural healing, that's where the numbers I'm coming up with are.
6. Still not a 10.
Okay. It is at this point when Gaz returns that Barton also returns almost around the same time. He's carrying a small satchel. He's got kind of an odd expression on his face. Like he's not pleased
with like the backpack on my back, and I've got the water skin in my hand. Yo.
He lets you know that he's got the means to help Rook if you believe that it is necessary.
I mean, he looks pretty bad.
I agree. I'm going to help your friend. So why don't you go ahead and take care of your water skin and whatever else you're doing while I attend to Rook.
Well, I'm already done with all that, so I just like pull up on my knees on the other side of Rook. Like, what are we doing?
He kind of makes an odd expression. He opens the satchel, kind of sticks his hand in the satchel, and then attempts to not let you see what he's doing.
I'm going to lean over Rook and try and see what's going on.
So at a plus 10, roll spots.
Okay, you said I get a plus 10?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a 19.
Yeah, he's got a potion in a small vial that he's going to administer to Rook.
Is that going to heal him? Is that magic?
Yes, it is, and it will.
That's awesome. Where did you...
I would rather not say where I got that.
Well, those things are very expensive, so... And I kind of, like, wave my hands around in front of me, trying to make a wide gesture and say, thank you.
Don't mention it. And his face genuinely means, like, don't bring it up again. And then he administers the potion to Rook, who within 5 minutes has feeling in his body. Rook, the healing from the potion... Wait, that's the wrong window. This window. Yeah, okay. It's the window that has the music. The healing from the potion was 9 points of healing.
Woo! Now it's 6.
And you can feel an awkward tension in the camp that has sprung up around you.
How are you feeling, Rook?
Before you get the chance to say that, he kind of stirs awake, seeing the grim expressions. Who died?
Not you.
Glad to hear it. Ugh.
Barton is really quiet right now.
I get over him and I wave like 3 fingers in front of his face too quickly for him to say, how many fingers am I holding up, Rook? Do you remember what happened? Do you remember who I am? It's Gizarm. Do you recognize me?
4? No. Kind of. Yes.
I think he's gonna pull through.
As you look over and say that, you see that Barton is currently packing up.
You're leaving?
Yes, it's time for me to go.
Is it safe to stay here the night? Those wolves might come back.
Upon hearing that,
I wouldn't worry about the
Great
wolves.
sword.
There's only 2 left from that pack, and their leader's gone. I wouldn't worry about them.
Other packs? Other animals? How can you tell me how far we are from the trappers' camp?
I believe you were 2 days from Trapper's Camp. That's actually the way I'm going to be headed soon. And I would travel with you, but I do have something I need to take care of.
We could carry your haul for you as thanks.
I really appreciate the offer, but I've got to make some good time. You get the feeling that he is concerned for his own well-being, that he may have done something that is going to get him into trouble. So with urgency, he says, I've got to go. I've got to head back north now.
Okay, well, thanks for your help.
Seriously, who is he?
As he leaves, I turn back to Rook, who's like laying on the ground, trying pushing him back down, like, just rest. You almost got eaten by those wolves. That was a trapper. His name was Barton. He had a bow. He helped kill the wolves.
Good. Wasn't just you. Had me impressed there for a moment.
For a fleeting moment, Rook, you have a memory of what you dreamt about.
Alright. Is this something I should be making up, or are you going to fill me in?
I can fill you in. I can tell you here in the stream, or I can tell you outside of stream.
If it's, like, important, tell me outside the stream. If it's just kind of miscellaneous, just tell me in the stream.
I mean, it's not, like, vital. It's just sort of, you got this vague feeling of Cord's approval. You know the dream was about something, but you're at the point where all you remember is the gist of it, and it was something about Cord being pleased.
Good enough. I should probably rest.
So are we planning to continue resting?
I mean, I'm also not sure how the rest system works in this edition.
Well, I still need a long rest.
Right.
24 hours, otherwise I'm going to be forced marching, and that's not good.
We're at a point in the day where you can probably just hit the hay early and it would be fine. Where the sun is about to start setting, so if you want to take a long rest now, you can.
Probably, yeah.
We should probably still just like do 2-man rotating shifts to get to the 8 hours, and I only need 4 hours of trance.
There you go.
So we can cover all but 2 of the hours with watches.
Yeah, it'll work out. If you need a little bit extra time, you did go to bed early, so it'll work out.
Yeah. And that should give him 1 more point of HP.
Oof.
I wasn't hurt, and then we should be able to set off once he finishes his next 8 hours and I finish my 4.
So is it based on level, or is it just always 1 HP?
It's based on level.
Okay.
So a level 2 character regains 2 HP every 8 hours.
Oof.
It's why magical healing is so very, very important.
Yep. Definitely going with the cleric next time.
We are now at morning. It is roughly 8 or 9 in the morning, so a little bit late, but we are fully rested. Rook has gained another hit point, and we are underway for the day, I take it.
Yep.
As soon as he finishes praying for
Yep.
his spells or land hands, whatever it is.
I don't, at the moment, it's just for roleplay. There is
Yes.
no benefit I get. I don't have anything like that until, like, at least second or third level.
Following your meditation, you have a similar but less intense feeling to what you felt when you woke up the day before. You are receiving a +1 insight on skills today.
Cool.
So we proceed with traveling in the Badlands. Landscape's a little bit greener today.
I say, let's get a move on then, Rook.
About midday, you come across... What was it going to be? Yes, okay. About midday, you come across a situation. So the path, the beaten path, about a mile in the distance, you can kind of see some sort of conflict occurring. Can't quite make out what it is, though.
There's a battle up ahead.
So as you get closer... sorry, Tristan, I didn't hear you.
I was going to say that, yeah, I think that we should take our time to get closer slowly and try and conceal ourselves in the, whatever we can conceal ourselves in, scrub brush.
I'd like to go and offer my assistance, but in my current state, I'd get more in the way than I would be helpful.
No, you do whatever you need to do to serve Cord as he deems fit. I'll do the sneaking and back you up from over here. I still got the arrows you lent to me the other day.
Good.
If you need me, just call out for Bullhorn.
Bullhorn?
Yeah, it's my name.
Okay, what you see ahead as you get closer is a shouting match currently going on. There is a group of, I don't know, trappers, thugs, something, that are currently shouting at someone who looks a lot like Barton.
I don't like that. So may I make hide checks? Need a hide check?
If you would like, it is still kind of off in the distance.
Okay. If I don't need to, then I will not.
I'd like to be able to roll up and ask what's going on.
Okay. As you are walking up and no one has seen you yet, the group of 3 mean people, they appear to be dressed similarly to Barton, but a little bit nicer. They conclude their conversation, their argument with Barton, at which point he sighs as if he concedes the point, and then they restrain him, and then appear to be ready to leave.
Then I'll charge up and ask, what are you doing to this man?
The leader turns and says, and who are you butting into my business?
My name's Rook. I'm a paladin of Cord.
He just laughs.
I'm going to be moving up and sneaking so that I can try and get to within 100 feet. Short bow, 60 feet of them unseen, best I can.
A paladin of cord, you say? Well, that's a new one if I ever heard one.
What do you want from?
I want nothing at this point.
Good, then I can get back to my question. What are you doing to this man?
You can ask him if you'd like, but he has wronged me and has rightfully returned that which he took, and we are now on our way. Barton, who is only restrained, is able to speak and says, "It's not really... Don't worry about it. It's fine."
How many guys are there?
There are 3.
3 guys.
They seem pretty well outfitted.
I want their outfits.
So if he's returned as something that was taken, that gives you no cause to bind this man. Let him go.
You let him go. We're leaving.
Alright, I go up and cut off his binds with my greatsword.
Okay, Barton stays where he is and says, really, you do not need to intervene here.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure. Please, don't... He's mumbling to you, he's muttering. Please don't do anything right now. It's not worth it. Everything's taken care of.
Let me know if I get to a spot where I can shoot.
If you'd like, you can take a shot anytime.
Do they seem to be unaware?
They are, because they're all 3 walking away.
Oh, they're walking away. Which one, No, I really can't justify starting a fight with 3 of them.
Rook, you notice that upon closer look, Barton's nose is currently bleeding.
If I had lay on hands, I'd fix that, but I don't.
He notices that you notice, and he says, it's nothing. He pulls out some piece of cloth and wipes his nose. He's like, it's fine.
Can I do whatever the 3-5 equivalent to insight is?
Sense motive.
You can do wisdom, or you can do sense motive.
I got 16.
Okay. Your insight tells you pretty much what your gut has been telling you. He's stolen something from them, perhaps, and they punched him in the face, tied him up, and took back what he took, which he apparently came here to give them in the first place. And then they are leaving because they felt like justice has been done.
Are they trying to leave with him, or just leaving in general?
They've made their point, so they're leaving in general.
Alright, then I'll let things lie for the moment. I'll wait for the guys to get further away before asking Barton a bit more about what happened.
Okay. So some time passes. Barton looks a little bit less shook up now. And if you are still waiting, then he will speak first.
So what happened? Really?
I'll level with you. I stole something. I know you're a paladin, so I know you don't like that sort of thing. But it was the only thing I could do to help you.
Well, I'm certainly not against it if it was just to save someone's life.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I can... Let's have a seat. And he seems a little bit more hurt than he's letting on right now. The long and short of it is, this is a group of thugs that go around acting like they own the Badlands. They apparently cannot be... What's the word? It doesn't really fit out here, but in Trapper's Camp is an equivalent of law enforcement. And essentially, because of some legal stuff, they can't be punished. So they go out here acting like they're in charge. Well, I know of a cache they've got, and I went and got it because I knew that they had some potions, and I hoped maybe one of them would help you, and it turned out that there was a cure potion in there. Unfortunately, they arrived at the cache before I did to return everything.
Well, you have my gratitude for your help. Since we seem to be heading the same way, perhaps we should travel together so as to help each other to avoid further incidents.
I would be fine with that. At this point, he gets up and goes off as he's walking to talk with Rook. Gaz, you see that he has left one of his belongings, which is his pack.
I'm gonna check that out.
Okay.
So if they're walking away from it, I imagine that I can move up to it unnoticed.
Yes. So move silently?
Yep. Got a 6.
Okay. Rook, would you like to roll on perception? Listen.
Sure, I guess. Let's see, D10. Didn't roll well, but I know I have a decent bonus, so let me pull up the skill. Listen, I got a 6.
And Tristan, you got what?
Also a 6.
Okay. Barton gets a little bit louder, causing you to have instead gotten a 5. And it seems intentional, but you're not sure why he suddenly started talking louder.
So what's in the bag?
He got a water skin, his mace that he was using against the wolves, a small quiver of 10 arrows that is not currently on his back, and some rations. It looks like a really, really small bedroll. A few other miscellaneous items. Also, a money pouch of 15 gold. Because I know you counted.
Yes. I'm going to watch him as he walks on with Rook for a while. Do they seem to be showing any intention of coming back here?
It seems like they're just sort of standing off, like 30 feet away, just talking. Like,
okay, so yes.
So, one of two possibilities. One is he's going to come back for the bag, and the other one, he's forgotten the bag.
Right. I'm going to actually chase after them with the bag slung over one shoulder.
Okay. Barton thanks you. He says, oh, my bag. Oh, my bag. Thank you so much for returning that. Should we be underway to Trapper's Camp then?
You'll travel with us then?
Yes, I'm not in good shape right now, so we should definitely travel in a group.
You don't look well. Were those men the cause?
It's not a big deal. Mostly just old age.
Will we see those men at Trapper's Camp?
Probably, yes, probably.
I see.
How come we didn't do something about that now, Rook?
Because they weren't looking for a fight.
That's the best time to start a fight.
Escalating things, it seems like it might get us back in the same situation again without any way to fix it, or possibly get Barton here further injured.
If I may, I don't know how experienced the two of you are, but what we just encountered yesterday, fighting off a pack of wolves, just trying to scare them off, is a completely different animal than this situation. So maybe we go and we keep our heads down before we start making decisions.
You know what I find helps in making decisions, Rook? Information. Barton, who are those men? You can tell me while we walk.
We've got all day to talk about this. So Barton gives you the skinny on these guys. Their leader's name is Alpheus. They have paperwork that, as far as he can tell, lets them get away with whatever they want. And he's not sure.
Who signed the paperwork? Who signed the paperwork?
He doesn't know the nature of the paperwork beyond that. He just knows that even in Trapper's Camp, there's not much that the law enforcement there can do, which is basically like there's 3 people who run the entire camp. It's kind of a village sort of situation, but like very rustic and like run down, sun beaten. They sort of run the place as best they can. They have good intentions and they don't always do well, but they have a system of justice where essentially one of them will act as prosecutor and judge, and then usually punishment is doled out in the form of like physical punishment or banishment from Trapper's Camp. But as far as Barton can tell, Alpheus and his gang have some sort of paperwork that makes it to where that can't happen. He's convinced maybe it's paperwork that makes it to where they can't be punished or something, but it has something to do with wherever they're from. And he's not so certain that they obtained it in a legitimate way, but nonetheless, the paperwork they have prevents the law from harming them. The almighty law.
That seems a bit screwy.
Can you tell me a little bit about the law of the Trapper's Camp? Like, what the basics are, what you can and can't do?
Well, I'd like to compare it to civilized places, but I don't recent many civilized places other than Pan. And if you've ever been there, you know that that's the least civilized place I've ever been. Gaz, you know Pan. It's within a few days' walk of your home, and it is a river town that frequently is the site of brawls between sailors and merchants. But yeah, the rules are basically like don't stir up too much trouble, don't murder. That's a big one, he says. He points a finger up in the air, like yes, don't murder. Don't cause trouble, and don't get caught doing things. It's the basics of the law. And then if someone believes that you have done something wrong, they will report you to the leaders of the camp. In which case, they will do an investigation, and then one of them will act as prosecutor and judge and jury if they feel it's necessary. Fortunately, they have not done so with Alpheus and his gang. And as far as I have heard, which I'm not, the most in the know, and I don't have very good hearing either, something about some paperwork that they have that keeps this from happening.
All right, so 2 more questions about this. 1, how do they handle property? Is it just if it's in your possession, it's yours, and therefore thievery or stealing of the nature can't really be proven? Or is there something more to it? Like, if you come back with those furs, they're yours, right? But if you are coming back with those furs and one of these brigands takes them from you, are they his, or are you able to petition that they're in fact yours?
I'm able to, but against Alpheus, I can't do much.
See. And then finally, if someone in Trapper's camp becomes violent in a way that is in conflict with the rules there, how do the three people who run the place stop the violence?
In the simplest terms I can think of, they have the biggest swords. But they also have a group of people who live in Trapper's camp.
Much bigger than this.
So they have a militia of their own.
Yeah, they have basically a militia, but it's people who live in and around the camp who will quickly take up arms to serve whatever it is that is determined is in the best interest of the camp.
Okay, good. So now we have an idea of the law enforcement there. How many would you say is in this militia? 5 people, 10 people, 100 people? How big is the town?
The town is, I haven't done a head count, somewhere between 1 to 200. And any able-bodied man, you've got a good chance that they're willing to be deputized, as you, if you will, in the name of the camp. So usually about 2 dozen.
Okay. Cool. Now that we know what we're up against. Well, you gave us a good turn the other day, Barton, yesterday. And we weren't... And I look at Rook, probably at the side of him as we're still walking, able to do anything for you just now, given that we are outnumbered. But I'm going to look for a way to help you once we get to Trapper's camp. This information is going to help.
I very much appreciate the offer, and as I said, let's keep our heads down when we get there, and we'll see what happens. I'm not looking to stir up any trouble unless you promise there won't be any.
Oh, of course not. Scout's honor.
Cocks his head a little bit.
I'm going to try and fall back with Gaz for a minute to talk somewhat privately while we just kind of be falling a bit further behind.
What's up?
You were never a scout, were you?
Scout? In the military? No, of course not.
Any idea how you might be able to acquire these immunity papers they have?
It was on the list of things I was going to try to do. Thinking maybe I can grab those, grab a few other things. I mean, it sounds like it's kind of, law of the land kind of thing, grab your swords and dish out justice however you see fit. So what we got to do is, make sure that letting these buggers stay is going to be worse for business than pissing them off. We just got to get to town to see that.
Well, I'm not sure of a current plan, but I can't really abide letting these brigands just rule with impunity. They'd just be able to crush anyone they wished.
I'm a little surprised by it. At first, when he started talking about them, I thought maybe it was like a protection racket or something, that like they were, the enforcement, but this guy says they're not. So I'm thinking, we just get in there, figure out what's really going on, probably see what shakes loose if we knock a couple trees, and I'm thinking I can put together enough to change the topography, as they say.
Sounds like a plan.
It's what I've got, but the plan evolves, so, as he said, we'll just keep our heads down. You keep our heads down for me.
I'll do it. I do make for a half-decent diplomat when the time calls for it.
I'm going to do a bit of a different kind of diplomacy. Diplomacy of the pockets.
To try to keep theft to a minimum,
I'm only going to steal.
especially from anyone who could, really use it.
I gave him back his backpack.
Did you steal from... How many coins do you have?
None.
How many coins?
Which is a problem, because you owe me 2. And I hold out my hand.
I give you 2 coins.
All right, I have 2 coins. Put them in. I hand them back to you because I don't have anywhere to put them. Hold on to these for me.
Screw it. I don't need it anyways. I just give you the coin pouch.
Yes. I put them in the coin pouch and I attach it to my belt.
And I give you the coin pouch with the full thing of coins.
How many coins is this?
15.
Ooh. I swing it around on the strings for a moment, then I tie it to my belt and I say, I will see that this gets put to good use. For us.
Better.
Look, it will either get bigger or stay the same. Eventually. Look, it all comes down. Eventually. Look. When we get to Travis Camp, just, do your thing, talk to people, keep Barton safe, and I'm gonna, take a walk. See what I can see. That's the plan right now. Nothing worse. Be fine.
I better go check on Barton.
Barton turns and says, anything you want to fill me in on?
We were just getting our story straight for how we would not start any trouble once we got to Trapper's Camp. Like you said, we're going to keep our heads down.
I put my arm around Barton. This is how we keep our heads down. Nothing to worry about.
Uh-huh.
Also, Rook owed me 2 coins.
That too.
Fair enough. Well,
And then I swindled him out of 13 more.
We're about an hour out of Trapper's Camp, if I remember correctly.
Oh, excellent. It's a nice place. Is there, a lot of greenery? Water, I'm hoping? I'm a bit parched.
There is a well.
Women?
I said a well.
No women.
Maybe a few.
Spoken for?
You're what, 16?
I can handle myself.
Okay. I'm sure you do.
Just sort of folds his arms over his chest and looks off in another direction.
So shortly, we arrive in Trapper's Camp. This is the best thing I could come up with on short notice that looked anything close to Trapper's Camp.
Right.
It's kind of run down, sun-bleached. Most of the buildings are wooden. There's some stone, but it looks like a camp. There are wooden walls around most of it, with some entryways that aren't really guarded. It's just sort of there to ward off nature, I guess. And all the buildings are something like this. They're not as nicely thatched, but it's close.
What edition am I thinking of that had Streetwise? Is that 4th? Must be.
Barton says, follow me. We'll get somewhere to stay. One thing you notice about him is, as sort of hinted at by Rook, is that his mighty haul of skins is gone. He has said nothing about it. And then he goes to one of 2 taverns, the more run-down one, and says, I got this. And then goes to the front counter and orders, gets 2 rooms, and then lays out some coin. And then says, okay.
How much coins to lay out?
Make a spot check.
Oof. One moment while I find out what my spot is.
I am conveniently distracted while this is happening. I'm looking for that well and the women.
In the well.
And the well.
It's easy to find. It's in the middle of the camp.
Cool. Because I am thirsty.
Okay.
You have been taken care of with your water needs.
For some reason. Oh, right. I have a negative spot mod. That's why.
Oof.
Yeah.
So, I got 1 because I rolled a 1 and I have +1 wisdom and then -1 modifier. So,
Make a listen check.
Clink, clink, clink.
Only relevant in this case.
listen.
Probably the same mod.
No, it's different because I have miss bonuses to it and I don't have the miscellaneous negative to it
Oh, okay.
from background stuff. So, 10 for that.
Well, uncertain as to how much the rooms cost, but a lot of coin just hit the counter within about 5 seconds of each other. And then the coins all go back into pouches of on varying sides of the counter.
I see.
Dude's paying in coppers, man. Wait, didn't he have 15 gold pieces and no other coinage in his pouch?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know that.
I do.
All you know is that more than one coin hit the counter.
All right.
Tristan, isn't it great when the smallest details just become the most important thing for an entire conversation?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It's why I'm playing the rogue. I'm going to try and notice all of the small details and utilize them to my advantage.
Okay, moving on. So Barton has gotten a room for you two to share and a room for himself. He makes no mention of any additional details, but he says he will be in his room if you need him. Don't stir up trouble. Don't get yourselves hurt.
I will not stir up trouble.
But, he says...
I will not get us hurt.
He says, in the off chance that you want to get in trouble but not hurt, maybe I can help.
I'm listening.
That sounds like an in-the-room kind of discussion.
I thought we were in the room.
Are we in the room?
We can be in the room if you want. He's sort of saying it as like, please don't stir up trouble, but if you do, at least let me know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go to the well.
Didn't you already go to the well?
Did I already go to the well?
I thought you did.
Okay. I mean, I imagine that if I already went to the well, it was while he was paying.
Yes.
Which is why I didn't know he paid.
You got the well water, and the pouch is full, as is your stomach, and I'm anticipating spot checks for women at this point.
Oh, I am definitely looking around for those guys that we saw out in the Badlands.
Or men, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Decide how you're going to go about that.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to spend some time at this well, filling my belly and then filling my water skin, making sure that my water skin, I don't have a water skin, filling my belly.
Didn't you take the paladin's water skin?
I guess he's
got it back.
He...
Yeah, I imagined he's got his backpack and everything back, so I'm down to... I just have this belt pouch full of money and a bow and his quiver of arrows.
Okay.
Ooh, I can put the belt pouch of money.
So you're drinking out of the jug.
Yeah. I imagine there's like either a bucket or a jug or a ladle or something there to pull it up.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, I'm kind of making a show of it. Like, I'm, just like really parched from walking through the Badlands, and I'm taking this, time to dramatize it to be able to cast views around the place and take note of who's around, the types of people I'm seeing, what weapons they may or may not be carrying, what life is like here. That's what I'm trying to take it all in from this central point.
Okay. What we'll do is a spot check for every 10 minutes you want to do that.
All right. I think it's only going to be 10 minutes because I need to run back over there.
Okay.
So, that is a 4.
Okay. I will tell you what you do know, which is people here don't seem to know what baths are.
Okay.
And a lot of them dress more or less like Barton and Alpheus, but not as nicely as Alpheus.
Okay.
The age group, you did not catch nothing about the demographic, nothing like that.
Can I tell, perhaps, what the most affluent business is in my immediate vicinity? Who seems to be doing the best? Which building is the nicest and the people going in and out the finest?
With that spot check?
Yeah.
Okay. The blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
There's one within view of the well, and he seems to be... horses get brought to him, and you hear clanging of metal, that sort of thing.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to them after doing this little watcheroo, and when they, go up to the room to talk shop, I'm like, I'm gonna go take a walk. Get to know this little burg that I haven't visited before, I assume. Have I ever been here before?
It is likely that you have, at least once.
Okay. So, if that's the case, do I have any historical information about it? Like, from my last visit, do I know what places were good for getting information on people and jobs and the like?
There are 2 tavern/inns, and there is a general store.
Okay.
And not that it's appropriate now, but there's a meeting house.
Like a town hall kind of a thing?
Sort of, except like it's where they get told what's going to happen. They can voice concerns, and also where the trials take place.
Gotcha.
While Tristan goes on his little solo adventure, I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
He's got the important job of keeping Barton alive.
Barton very much wants to stay alive. He just also doesn't want to seek out trouble.
Sure. The person who owns this inn, does he also run a tavern below, like a place that serves drinks?
Both of them do. The one you're at is the seedier one.
Is the seedier one. Okay.
It's because it's cheaper.
Yeah. But that also means that coin can buy information more easily.
Very likely.
So I'm going to take a quick little jaunt down to the area where he serves drinks to people. I assume it's a he.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to come up to him and ask for his cheapest ale.
Cheapest ale, you say? So you mean like my absolute swill?
Something that will not have me retching after 1 cup, please.
Okay, so not the cheapest.
I have more important things to spend my coin on than drink.
Yes, but you don't want to retch afterwards, so we'll go 1 step up from the cheapest. How about that?
Grand.
Okay, that comes out to 7 copper.
It's an expensive drink. Okay, I reach into the little belt pouch I've been given. I pull out a gold coin and I place it on the table and push it across.
Okay, he gives you your change.
I'm going to sit down and wait for the drink to be made, and as he does so, I'm going to look around and make sure that I'm at least distant enough that I can speak privately with him as he prepares the drink.
Okay, so you're sitting at the bar?
Yes.
Okay. So he goes and gets a tankard.
Mm-hmm.
He pours some pretty low-end stuff and hands it to you.
All right.
Onto the counter.
I'm going to be rolling one of the silver coins he gave me back as change under my index finger.
Okay.
So I say, I've recently come into town, and on my way in, I noticed some rather unsavory men. I was wondering if you could tell me anything about them. They seemed rather haughty, well-armed, and like they...
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I let I spin the coin and I slap it flat. And then I pull my hand back from it and I say, what can you tell me about them? Who are they?
You're talking about Alpheus in his outfit.
Go on.
His voice is...
take out another silver coin and begin rolling it under my finger.
He takes note, and now he gets what you're doing. And his voice has lowered since he said the name Alpheus.
Mm-hmm. I actually will cast a glance around the room when he first says it to see if anybody nearby reacts.
So you see, like, one person's like, Alpheus, and then, like, turns like, none of my business. Okay. You get as much information as you want from the barkeep now.
Okay.
He is no fan of Alpheus.
Cool.
He says...
Go ahead.
So above what Barton told you, his understanding, since he's been here a while, and there's talk, and he doesn't believe everything he hears is true, but it's something about diplomatic immunity. He's not sure why, considering they're not, as far as he can tell, diplomats, unless this is what diplomats do, apparently. But it's apparently paperwork that comes from some other place and has been signed by the appropriate authorities, and apparently makes it to where they can do whatever they want. That's what he heard.
I see. And do you know where they tend to spend most of their time when they're in town?
They're either in one of the shops buying equipment or selling things that they have acquired through whatever means they have, or they are hanging out at the other tavern that is much nicer and high-end than this one.
I see. Do you know if they rent rooms there?
Oh, they definitely do. Their rooms are very much... He stops. More expensive than here.
And one last question for you. And I draw out the word you and shake my head side to side, very clearly looking for something to call him.
Go on.
No, I mean, my gesture indicates to him, without him needing to make any rolls, that I'm trying to figure out what he wants me to call him. I want him to tell me what to call him.
After a moment of realizing you really do want to know, because he wasn't going to say,
okay.
He says, well, you can call me Smith.
Smith. Fair enough. Mr. Smith, the final question is, have they ever gotten into a violent altercation inside the town?
One time recently.
And were there any deaths?
I can't say on that matter. As far as I understand, they did hurt someone pretty bad, and the guys in charge were going to do something about it, and then they couldn't. So that's been put on the back burner.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. I'm actually going to leave the last 3 copper he had given me on the table, so including the drink, he's gotten 30 copper worth off of me.
Nice.
Of the 7 coppers, the extra 3 and the 2 silvers, I'm going to say, keep your ears open for me. There might be more coin in it.
I will do that then.
I'm going to head up to the room, actually, to find, let's see the pockets. I just noticed that something had been entered in chat, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
That's okay.
Dice?
Rook is what I'm talking about. I was laughing about over diplomacy of the pockets because I was trying to figure it out and realized it was something I had said.
Yeah.
Derek.
Yep.
I'm going to go upstairs to find Rook and beg a moment of his time, pull him out of whatever conversation he may or may not be in with Barton. Barton seems to like conversation, so I imagine he's in one.
Barton has been keeping to himself.
Oh. Well, we do have our own room, so we should be able to talk in private without it seeming weird at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to grab Rook and say, alright, I got the skinny on these guys. This Alpheus is running his racket in the town. We're staying at the other tavern, which is apparently more ritzy, more expensive. They have been involved in altercations here, so they're not afraid to fight, and everyone seems to believe that they have something called diplomatic immunity, so they can do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't get in trouble for it. No one can prosecute them or hang them, as they probably well deserve. I don't know if you noticed, Rook, but our friend Barton came back to town without his big haul of furs that he had yesterday.
I noticed.
I think it's not the largest of leaps of logic to say that they were taken by those fiends.
Not at all. Perhaps we could, well, they were far enough ahead of us, they might have sold them off already, but if not, we might be able to reclaim them for him.
I'm thinking that's probably the least of the things that we can do that would benefit Mr. Barton, but I think that everything else we do will also benefit the rest of town. Now, I was going to go pay their rooms a visit because money talks in a town as poor as this one. So, if you wanted to stay and keep Mr. Barton company, that's well and good, because this might require some stealth, but if you wanted to provide me company, I would not say no.
I'm sure I could, at the very least, get them out of their rooms.
I don't know that they're in yet. I was going to go and ask.
But perhaps I should stay here in case they wish to pay Barton another visit.
That has been one of my main concerns throughout all of this, but I certainly didn't want to make that too well known. If you're okay with that, I don't mean to leave you out of the action here, but this requires a light touch.
I think I'd best be suited to making sure he stays in relatively one piece.
I'm good with that. Look, if it comes to it, I know that you're good in a fight, and our Cord wouldn't be granting you any power. So, don't be afraid to go in against these buggers.
I'm not afraid. I was simply showing caution when I didn't have a way to protect Barton at the time. But now that I have a choke point, all bets are off.
Alright. Then, meet back here? Well, I'll meet you back here once I have the lowdown on the room. If I'm gone more than an hour, I think you should come looking.
I will.
There's only 2 taverns in this town, if memory serves, because I've been here once before, so I'm going to be at the other one.
He'll put up a hand for a fist bump.
The elf looks at it for a moment, and then cocks a grin at you and pounds it. We're gonna
be with you.
May whatever god watches over thieves. Oh wait, there is one of those in 3.5, isn't there?
The one that rogues usually worship is Cord.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I did not remember that. Alright then. Cord it is. I'm used to the Dawn War gods, in which case it would be Sayanine and Avandra. Okay. I am going to stride back out of here.
Aladamara.
Alidamara. That's...
But If the paladin tells you Cord and you believe it, then it's Cord.
Well, it's just, I know that's just what it was listed where I was looking, but
I've never really spent any time studying the gods, like my character. So if the follower of Cord goes, yeah, thieves and Cord get along, he's like, cool.
not thieves, but rogues specifically. But the more is the probably the most appropriate fit for you.
I would like to put this on pause since it's getting kind of late.
Yep.
This seems like a great point to come back to. As much as I really would have wanted to have everything happen in one session, I didn't want to stop what was going on because you guys were enjoying your characters. So what we'll do is next week we'll introduce the Ranger and the Druid, and I'll bring you two back to close out your opening storyline in 2 weeks' time. And then by that point, we'll be getting ready to put the group together. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Sounds good.
So I enjoyed very much episode 1, getting to hear about the dynamic duo where sometimes diplomacy is in the pockets.
That's gonna end up the name of the episode.
I'm fine with maybe next episode needs to be called that, though. We're about to commence with the diplomacy of the pockets.
That's true. Yeah, it does look to me like Oidamara's generally the rogue ones.
I may have just been misremembering.
God of Rogues, Oidamara is chaotic neutral. Title is the Laughing Rogue. Oidamara delights in wine, women, and song. He's a vagabond, a prankster, and master of disguise. His domains are chaos, luck, and trickery. So he's kind of like a perfect rogue god.
So that also goes for you too.
I'm hoping there's also diplomacy of the fists if Rook has anything to say next time.
Oh yeah, gotta make
Fists?
Rook happy.
This diplomacy of the greatsword. Thank you very much.
They're hard to swing in tight doorways.
Diplomacy of blunt or sharp objects.
Don't forget piercing.
That's sharp.
Alrighty then.
All right,
Sounds
that
good.
was episode 1 of Valenaria Chronicles, and it was never boring. All right, thanks everyone for coming out and enjoying our first session, and I'm very much thank you to Derek and Tristan for lending their skills and talents.
Yo. Thank you for running it.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm hoping that we can work out the kinks and have some good times in the future.
Yep, I think that we're getting there. Bye. Hashtag goodbye.